Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video and welcome to F123 League Racing. Yes, we are finally back here with the start of WOR. Obviously, I've done some iRacing stuff. You know, this channel, to be honest, has been quite quiet over the last couple of months, but finally now I'm really going to be trying to bring back some proper content. Not quite going to be daily uploads, I don't think, but hopefully sort of 3 or 4 times a week there's going to be videos here on the second channel. So for those of you that have stuck around, a massive thank you, of course. Obviously, for those of you that have come from the main channel as well, massively appreciated. You know, if you aren't already, please do get yourself subscribed. Trying to hit 10,000 subscribers at the moment. But yeah, this is the channel, of course, where I upload my league racing highlights and obviously competitive sim racing content from various games outside of F1. And today, yeah, we're back with WOR. We had a really fun campaign on F122, you know, sort of got back into the league racing vibe, and yeah, had some good fun with that. Obviously, got a podium right towards the end of the season, but hopefully this time around we can be even more competitive, of course. The start of a new game normally means more competition. Obviously, you've got more people playing and things like that, so we are actually in split 9 of about 16 splits overall. This is obviously, again, no assists whatsoever for this series, and although I'm doing most of my recordings on PC, I'm actually still playing on Xbox, mainly because I can't do Monday nights for league racing content. So hopefully this season we're going to have a lot of fun once again, of course. For those of you that are interested as well, I live stream these races 7 PM UK time over on my Twitch channel. We're closing in on 5,000 followers over there as well, so it'd be greatly appreciated if you could help me get one step closer to that. And also I upload the full VOD with stream chat, with commentary, obviously live commentary as well, over on my new Matt212 VODs channel, so I'll leave a link down to that in the description below. That'll be also where all of the clips come from in this series. But my first run then was a 1 minute 43.5, left us about a second away from pole, but I knew there was time to find on the lap. So as we come towards the end of qualifying, you can see heading down in towards the bus stop chicane, and Bottle Job 212 strikes again. Just nicked the curbing on the inside there. Broke actually slightly too early, and that then meant that I turned in too early, and unfortunately meant we were left down in P10. So yeah, a little bit disappointed with that one. Rambo there, you can see on pole, 3/10 clear of a bit late Barry in the McLaren, and my teammate Ben in 7th place are ahead of myself. But of course, you know, with the new tyre rules in Formula 1, 10th place, of course, no longer screws us, so we're not too worried about starting there, you know, pretty much in the middle of the pack. I think we had 17 cars here ready for the first race of the season, but Spa, we know how chaotic it can be on lap 1, especially up the Kemmel Straight, so hopefully we're going to be able to try and keep it clean and tidy as we get into the race there. Strategy tonight is a pretty simple one-stop. It's going to be mediums onto hards. However, that also being said, it is strategy here at Belgium. It is league racing here at Belgium. There is a very good chance we are going to see a safety car as well. So anyway, lining up then on the grid, no formation laps in WOR. I have to remember that. Looks like we have got a little bit of variety on the strategy. The Aston Martin alongside me there of Zeki on a set of these soft compound tyres. But it is going to be 5 red lights then here for the Belgian Grand Prix. Lights out and away we go there. And actually a pretty clean, tidy start. So clearly my start's much better on F123 than they ever were on F122. We're going to find an avenue down around the outside there at turn 1. Run ever so slightly wide, but get away with that one off of the first corner. We're actually going to be side by side with Zeki as we head down the hill. Luckily, doesn't clearly want to go side by side into a Rouge. That looks like everyone pretty calm, cool and collected up through a Rouge on lap 1 there. We're actually going to get a run on Makaze as well. You can see that Red Bull though. It's got the real life Red Bull straight line speed as we head down the Kemmel Straight there. He's trying to eye up a move to the inside of Ben, as we've still got cars side by side though just up the road. My real goal tonight was just keep it clean and tidy, get to the end of the first race in one piece there and try to avoid penalties. There's almost 4 wide in front of me there, as you can still see cars battling around. Makaze, a little bit of a mistake there as we head down the hill. Almost 4 wide still as we head down through No Name. We're going to see a little bit of contact there, a bit of front wing of the McLaren car coming off. So as we head down in towards Pouon even, that McLaren is going to be off on the outside there. So we've gained 2 places then off the start of this race, which is absolutely perfect, to be honest, you know, especially considering that's 2 cars that were on a set of soft compound tyres there. You can see on the mini-map Rambo at the front of the field and the Alfa Romeo car there rolling away into a little bit of an early lead, but of course it's always interesting to see, you know, I completely set up my cars for race setups. You know, I'm not worried about trying to get a pole position here or a top 3 qualifying run there. I'm just interested in trying to get a good race car that I can really feel like I can attack with. As we can see, end of lap 2, Mikaze trying to make a move on my teammate Ben there as we head out of the final corner. So we're now going to be side by side with my Williams teammate. As yeah, the Alfa Romeo, his gamer tag is Sheepshagger. I don't know how he's managed to get that through Xbox and PlayStation Network, but apparently, yeah, you're going to hear me saying Sheepshagger a lot over the course of this season there. As you can see now, starting lap 3, though, already it looks like the Red Bull has dropped off the back of the DRS of the cars in front of him. So Ben surely is going to be able to try and get a run here as we head up the Kemmel Straight. Williams versus Red Bull. We don't see this all too often in the world of Formula 1, but of course, league racing, for those of you that don't know, it's all equal cars, so obviously everyone has got exactly the same car underneath them, to obviously stop anyone gaining an advantage. I actually picked the Williams as my car. It was kind of a bit of a hark back to old school league racing for me, of course, no longer associated with Alfa Romeo or anything like that, and the Williams was where I saw most of my league racing success. About 6-7 years ago now, which is scary to think about, but, you know, still enjoying that. There is all a little bit of contact down at turn 1. I think I actually got a tag from Jack Clays in the McLaren behind me. So, yeah, a little bit of rear locking there, but that's going to drop me back behind at the DRS range of Ben in front now. And that's actually going to give Zeki a little bit of an opportunity in the Aston Martin car, so hopefully not going to really put up too much of a fight in this scenario. Of course, he's on that set of soft compound tyres, so hopefully he's going to go for it. In fact, no, actually the McLaren of Jack, though, having a look down the inside there, just locks at the brake, goes a little bit too hot on the way in. I made sure I tried to give him room as he came back onto the circuit there, and that's going to cost us even more time to bend up the road. The gap now up to 2.3 seconds as we make our way down through the hairpin then. And you can see 1 lap later, now Zeki is going to be able to try and get the run on me. This time around I'm going to go defensive in air quotes, but really I was just trying to give him the place and make sure he didn't have dirt on his tyres into the corner there. You can still see, though, the Aston Martin struggling to get the car slowed down, but yeah, my goal now was just try and hang with him for a couple of laps and hopefully, of course, try to utilise the rest of that soft compound grip, because it really does look like the top 6 or so have been able to stay pretty bunched up still. Rambo, you know, had that pace in qualifying but has not been able to break away at the front of the field there. As you can see, desperately need to get rid of the particle haze on Xbox there. They frame rate suffering from that. Of course, I'm used to playing this game on PC where I'm often getting well over 100 FPS. 60 doesn't bother me much, but when you get the frame drops like that because of the haze, it was a bit of a nightmare here on a couple of occasions, so definitely going to make sure that I don't do that in the near future. Zeki, I thought there he was going to try and give me the opportunity down the outside, but he cuts back across me right at the last moment. We had to get out of the throttle there. So, yeah, like I said, I don't think he did it on purpose. I wasn't under the impression he did it on purpose. But, yeah, definitely quite a scary moment there as the safety car has now been deployed. I think another car has retired from the GP, so that's going to mean everyone is in a mad rush into the pit lane then. And for those soft compound runners that were able to stay out, it's been an absolute lifeline for them. For the medium runners, though, pretty decent time to be pitting for us, of course. We'll have a couple of laps under the safety car, so basically everyone now is going to be attempting to try and take the hard top compound tyres to the end of the GP. Unfortunately for me, I think Williams were the only team that had 2 cars still inside the top 8, so that meant that we did get held up ever so slightly there. Did get a 1.8 second pit stop though, because apparently there's a bit of a glitch with that when you double stack, but we definitely didn't gain time from it. And as you can see, heading out of the pit lane there, forgetting which button it was for my limiter, is actually going to allow Jack to get back past me there in the McLaren. So a little bit annoyed with myself for that one, but I don't think really I'm going to worry about it all too long there, especially as he's on a set of soft compound tyres. So he's actually attempted to try and 2-stop the second half of this GP there, but about to go green flag racing then once again. I'm pretty certain it's L, I want to say, at the front of the field here, but of course just waiting to get going again. You know, P7, obviously we can still see the leaders at the front of the field. Now they've gone as we head down in towards the final chicane, but yeah, not really going to be able to capitalise all too much here, so just want to try and keep it clean and tidy off the restart. Everyone now into a bit of the unknown with these hard compound tyres here that obviously we're all going to try and extend right the way through to the end of the race, depending on whether we get a safety car or anything like that. As you can see, Jack again struggling with the brakes though down at turn 1. A little bit of a lock-up there by the McLaren. So he's been on those tyres a good 4 laps now, a couple of those being under safety cars, so he still should have a bit of an advantage off this restart, as someone seems to have retired and disconnected from the race there. We've also noticed the McLaren actually with a 3-second time penalty as well. But yeah, just trying to use a bit of battery here. Don't want Mikaze to really go for it. He's going to have a look, though, down the inside as we get to the end of the Kemmel Straight there. We'll make sure we give him plenty of room on the entry, but try and close him off on the exit. There's a little bit of a wobble there as you try and put the power down. But yeah, we're going to hopefully leave Mikaze and Rambo behind us. Don't really know how Rambo ended up behind me in this Grand Prix at the moment. He must have got involved in an instance somewhere. But as we head down the hill then on lap 11, you can see now just trying to monitor the gap to the McLaren car in front of me as we head through Poole. He's going to have a lot more grip, so really I'm eyeing up the gap to the Aston Martin as the top four already starting to make a bit of a breakaway. But nope, Rambo, an incredibly aggressive move there down the inside. I'd already started to commit to the corner by the time he got alongside me there, and that's going to give us front wing damage, and that is really, really going to put us in a bad situation for the second half of this GP there. I think it was only orange on the front wing, but especially with it being on that right-hand side, it's going to compromise us a lot through plenty of corners around this venue. And yeah, I'll be honest, was not happy with that. Only yellow on the front wing there, but yeah, really not happy with that one. Felt like it was a bit of a ridiculous dive bomb. You know, into the final chicane is only down about 2-3 gears, and it's really not a particularly big braking zone there. And the fact he didn't even make the corner either just kind of proved to me that he missed his braking point and absolutely sent it in. Was adamant he was going for a move there, because being real, you know, unless it's changeable conditions, how often do you actually see overtakes down in towards the chicane? So we're going to have to limp round over the next few laps here and just trying to keep the car between the white lines at the moment. There you can see Jack Clays as well dropping back those soft compound tyres, really now starting to wear off once again. But as we make our way in through Blanchimont, there's actually going to be a crash above behind us. Our last two runners in the Grand Prix there, the AlphaTauri and the Ferrari, coming together, and that's going to bring out a virtual safety car. So I'm going to take the opportunity to pit at this stage of the race, but that's going to change to a full safety car then at the moment. So suddenly now we are back in the fight then in this race. You can see I'm celebrating there as well, because that's going to mean obviously we get a free front wing change, and obviously we get to go onto a fresh set of compound tyres as well, because all the front runners, you know, it's going to be one of those scenarios where either they all pit or none of them can really afford to pit there because they don't want to lose track position to each other. But 8 laps on a set of softs, even with a couple of those under safety car, it's still going to be a tall order in the second half of this Grand Prix. So we're going to have to be really, really careful with that. And so careful, in fact, I actually changed my mind. So we're going to come back in at the end of 14, bolt on a set of mediums to the end of the GP instead there, just to make sure that we get through all in one piece. Obviously, not going to lose a position by doing this, and by the end of lap 16 there, you can see we have now caught back up to the rear of the field then. So 6 laps to go, restarting down in 12th place here. So certainly feel like, especially with some cars with penalties, we've absolutely got an opportunity still to score points late on in the day here. But now, of course, we're really going to get caught out there by a lot of cars trying to build up heat in their tyres there, as the leaders going then as we make our way through the final couple of corners, giving RPM Sinful just a little bit of room there, as making sure I don't hop over the curbing like I did in qualifying. But out of the final corner though, green flag racing once again then here from the Belgian Grand Prix circuit now, and like I said, I'm pretty certain it is still L in the Alfa Romeo leading the way as we head down through turn 1 there. Get the car right on the white line. That was very, very close to being a warning here, but yeah, nowhere near as close as I wanted to be to those cars in front of the restart. But that being said, we have got an opportunity. Suddenly now we've got even more of an opportunity. Rambo in the Mercedes is out of the GP. Actually came to blows with Cody there up through Radion. I've seen the incident personally. It looked like Rambo gave him a bit of a squeeze there. I was actually going to remember at the last second, 7 tenths left on the clock, to make sure that I gave Cody back the place. But now we're going to risk it. You know, still at the rear of the field. We're going to bolt on that fresh set of the soft compound tyres to see us through to the end of the GP. So potentially could have done that a couple of laps ago, but now really we're going to be left with a 3-lap sprint between now and the end of the Grand Prix, and restarting again down in 11th place though. We've got it all to do here. Definitely, like I said, feel like we can score some points though. I know of at least 2 cars inside the top 10 that have got a 3-second time penalty at the moment. So we've got a full charge of battery. We've got the freshest tyres of anyone in the field. We need to get on with this in these final 3 laps. There is almost pushing the Mercedes as we make our way in towards the final couple of corners. It is almost green flag racing, of course. I would have sent it around the outside there, but obviously can't make a move until we cross the start-finish line. So as we make our way through the final couple of corners, you can already see the front runners starting to fan out once again there as we cross over the start-finish line. Sinful, you can see, trying to use battery, goes a bit defensive in towards that first corner as well there. So clearly, you know, isn't going to make my life easy, and he's more than within his right to do so as we start lap 20 of 22 here, heading down in towards Eau Rouge and Rally on once again though. Obviously just got so much grip there. Sinful, a little bit of a blend actually, as I think he was a bit wide on entry and just had a bit of a panic there, so we will swoop around the outside of him almost immediately. We can see Zeki just 6/10 up the road there. Cody, 11 seconds worth of penalties, so has had a bit of a nightmare apparently so far this afternoon. Maybe picked up a 5-second one that can be removed here, but coming towards the end of lap 20 though, just trying to close in on Zeki there, trying to manage the ERS battery usage, because I just thought that a lot of cars would probably take a lot out of theirs. As we have a look up the inside, there's chaos though down at the final couple of corners there, and I've got no idea what happened, but we're suddenly back up then into 7th place of the GP there. So got the move done on Zeki. I think Jack and someone else there had come together, which allowed us to gain those places and some freebies as well. So we're pretty much now back up, and you can see just in front of us there, we've actually got a fight for the podium going on. Top 2 are broken free at the front of the field, so they look like they're pretty much dead set to walk away with a 1-2. It's just a question of who will be the winner this afternoon. But Makaze, you can see he's on a set of hard compound tyres, so I know we can definitely get past him. Bit late Barry has got a 3-second time penalty as well, and I know Ben, my teammate, and I think it's the Aston Martin that he's battling with as well, they're both on an old set of hard compound tyres, so we've got every opportunity here late on in the day to really continue trying to make an impact here. So trying to apply pressure to Makaze as we head down the hill here. Just so you can see, we've got so much extra grip, but just not able to use it through this middle sector there. I was very, very careful again that I don't cross over that white line. We are still yet to pick up a warning throughout the entirety of this race up to now as we head through Pouhon for the penultimate time though, using battery on the exit. This is how much we're pushing at the moment, trying to see if we can force an error at Makaze so we get the easiest overtake of my career, but it's just not happening yet as we make our way down through the Fanyas chicane there. Top 2, like we said, they're gone. No chance to get to them, but I was still eyeing up at this point that we might still be able to get a podium there. You can see how much Barry has closed up to Ben in front of me there, so I would love for at least one of the Williams cars to get on the podium. Of course, I feel like we've actually got a pretty decent team there. As down the inside of Makaze will go though as we head in towards Blanchimont here. It was not actually where I was planning on going for the move, but we give him room. Brilliant racing respect between the pair of us there. He gave me just enough, but not too much there on the way in. We're going to try and outbrake ourselves slightly to allow him the room on the inside there. We should be able to traction him off the corner, and yes, we will move back up then into P6 of the race. One more racing lap to go though here from the Belgian Grand Prix circuit. DRS, of course, has now been re-enabled there as Barry has made the move on Ben just in front of me, but everyone is going to be trying to get the DRS off each other there. The Aston Martin in front looks like he's trying to just break free, so maybe Barry can bring both myself and our teammate up to him. Makaze, though, is still right behind me, as Zeki might have the DRS as well, so this could be quite a big DRS train, pretty much from 3rd place all the way down to about 10th, though, on this final lap of the race. I mean, there's only 12 cars in the running, most of us still locked into this battle. You can see Barry, though, LED flashing on the back of that McLaren car, so he's clearly run out of battery, and that's really, really good for us there, because of course Ben on those hard compound tyres, he's going to be struggling as well as we make our way down the hill. We've still got 30% charge though. I'm trying to give it everything we've got, and my plan was to go for a big run out of the final couple of corners there. That probably should have been a warning as we head out of turn 8, but as we make our way down through Pouhon, almost clip the inside curb there. That is basically a guaranteed spin late on there, as Makaze behind us is going to pick up a 3-second penalty as well, so now under less pressure from him, as Sinful in the Mercedes up into P8 a little bit further back, but you can see Barry just doesn't look like he's quite going to get close enough to the Aston Martin in front of him. Ben, though, is dropping back behind him, so as we make our way out of Stavelot here, we're going to basically drain the battery as we head up in towards the final couple of corners. I can only assume Ben is doing the same thing as well, though, just in front of me, but are we going to get a late race battle with my teammates who make our way in towards the final couple of corners here of the Belgian Grand Prix? We're going to try and eye up a move to the inside. We'll dive back to the outside there. Ben locks up the front wheels. Can we get a switch back out of the final corner on my teammate as we head up towards the line? We'll try and get on the throttle. We're going to be side by side, but it is not quite enough, and we will come through for P5 when Barry's penalty has been applied there. And what a dramatic end to the Belgian Grand Prix here. That all got very, very crazy right towards the end of the race, but so much fun in that one there. L will take the win ahead of Ekelund in P2. I apologise, I'm probably butchering your name there. Sheepshagger will round out the podium. No, I still cannot believe that is a name I'm saying there. Ben will beat myself. And then you see Barry, Sinful, Zeki, Makaze, and Jack will be our final point scorer. And I tell you what, on a 4-stop strategy, we did pretty well there. Everyone else in front of me on a 1 or a 2 stop, but clearly my 4-stop was the way to go this afternoon. But there we are then, the end of round 1 here of WOR. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure to leave a like, get yourself subscribed. We'll be back, like I said, live this Thursday night from Qatar, so definitely want to watch that video as well, and obviously join the stream as well. It'd be greatly, greatly appreciated. But yeah, of course, if you've watched this on my main channel, highlights from every other race are going to be going live over on my second channel, so definitely get yourself subbed, and yeah, let's try and hit 10,000 subscribers.